Since the time you were a child, you have been brainwashed into believing that the safe route to take in life is the same path that everyone else takes, the same one that leads them to being in lots of debt and disappointment and overall living a life that they don't truly want, living in a house that they don't care about and driving in some car and wishing that they had a better one and going to a job that they hate and reporting to somebody that they neither like or respect in a marriage where they're kind of sort of okay, could be better, could be worse, dealing with children who may or may not be also destined to fail. You go to school, you go get your degree, and then you go apply to some job at some company that will take your degree. And you have been told that that is the safe route. But it is anything but that. It is the common route, yes, but there is absolutely nothing safe about that. But so many people go that way because it's what it is that they've been shown, and they have been told that it is much less risky than the alternative in trying to figure out your own thing and do make it on your own and make your own way, because you get hit with all of these statistics like 95% of businesses fail within the first year, and that terrifies people. So they decide that they want to play it safe and go the standard traditional route, and they don't want to bet on themselves because of that. But in reality, if you're not betting on yourself, then you are betting on somebody else. When you go to school, you are betting that the people who are teaching you stuff are going to teach you something worthwhile. When you take out your loan to go to school, you are betting that the degree that you get from school is going to help you pay off that loan. When you get your degree, you are betting that whenever you go to apply for places and tell them that you went to X university, whether it's some random thing or something prestigious, that the person that's interviewing you is going to give a shit about your schooling. And furthermore, you're also betting that your degree will continue to be of relevance, and lots of degrees are absolutely meaningless. Ask the art history majors and all of that shit, or the philosophy majors. And this is not a knock against philosophy. I love philosophy personally. I'm just saying a philosophy degree doesn't have a great deal of utility. But you go and do all of these things betting that someone else is going to care about this investment that you made, and betting that someone else is going to lead you on the right path, and betting that someone else is going to believe your degree is worth what it is that you believe it is, and betting that someone else is going to value the degree in the way that you were told that your degree was going to be valued. And when you go get a job, you are betting that that the person or people hiring you have the skills to continuously run a company, and that they won't run the company that you're at into the ground. You are betting that they are doing above board business practices and aren't going to get you arrested in some weird Ponzi scheme or some sort of other embezzlement scam or some shit that you're none the wiser to, where you're doing some sort of shady illicit dealings with people. You are betting that the people who are hiring you give a fuck enough about you not to fire you because they got their brother who wants a job there and they only have a limited amount and you are replaceable to them. You are betting that you're not going to get laid off of something. You're betting that you're not going to fall a victim to budget cuts. You're betting that they are going to continuously pay you the same thing. You are betting that at some point they will give you a raise to keep up with inflation, so you don't wind up working the same amount for the same amount of and or less money than you were before. All of these things are bets. All of these things are gambles. People just don't look at it that way because that's not the way that it's pitched to them. And if if you're willing to go down that path, then you are also rolling the dice. There is no such thing as a safe route. In fact, I would argue that that route is much less safer, because you are putting your entire future, as well as the future and well-being of your family members, whether that be wife, kids, whoever the fuck it is that you're supposed to take care of, in the hands of strangers who don't fucking know you and or care about you, and who could just be completely fucking incompetent. So you have to ask yourself, why do you trust strangers to do what's necessary for you to be able to take care of yourself and the people you care about more than you trust you to be able to do so? Wouldn't you think that you would be the one who's more invested in your future and the future of those that you love than people who don't know you and will replace you without a second thought? Wouldn't you rather put your future into your own hands? Wouldn't you rather figure out how to start some company or make some money or do whatever the fuck it is that you would like to do on your own, and know that at the very least, if it fails, it failed because of you and the fact that you just didn't do the right things rather than putting these things into the hands of somebody else? Wouldn't you rather be the one to make it so that you know that you can do it again? Because lots of people go and get jobs that they work at for years, get fired, and can't find another job because they made the wrong bet that their degree or their experience would mean something to someone else when it very much may not. But everything that you do with yourself, everything that you put into yourself, all the investments that you make into you are going to mean something to you. And in betting on yourself, you're also taking it upon yourself to gather and acquire and create and cultivate all of the necessary skills to make sure that you are able to bounce back from some sort of failure. Because again, it's in your hands. In the other scenario, you're left up to the whims and the abilities of other people. If their thing fails, if they fail, you fail with them. If they succeed, you don't necessarily succeed with them though. But if you bet on you if you fail with you, yes. But if you succeed with you. You all of the things come to you and all of the things fall on you. And you're not safer because you've gone the other direction. You have just put your future into the hands of strangers and people you do not know. So why is it that you don't believe that you are capable of running a business? Why do you believe that strangers are capable of doing this, but not you? Why do you believe that strangers are capable of providing you ways to make money, but not that you're capable of ways to provide you to make money? Why do you believe that strangers will care about you enough to make sure that you are able to feed your family, but you don't care about yourself enough to make sure that you are able to feed you and your family? All of these things fall back onto you. It is not any of this other shit because, again, you could go back to all the statistics that people quote. 95% of businesses fail within the first year, but that's not because businesses aren't something that can be started and or run or are some nearly impossible task to do. It's just because 95% of people who start businesses suck at businesses. 95% of people suck at most things. Have you ever driven up the street? Most people can't fucking drive. You hear people talk about from all over the country and all of these different states and all of these different cities, people in Ohio, people in California, Arizona, Nevada, fucking Florida can't drive. Nobody can drive any fucking where. Very few people can. So if these people don't even have what it takes to drive their car when a light changes colors, what makes you think that these people have what it takes to start a business? If you go to a grocery store, watch the people wandering around there aimlessly who can't seem to figure out the difference in the directions that people are going in the aisles, and there's always some jackass with their cart splayed out across the middle of everything, blocking everybody's fucking way, completely oblivious as to what it is that's going on because he's lost in trying to figure out what type of cereal it is that he wants to get. People aren't even capable of navigating grocery stores. Why would you think that people are capable of running businesses and creating sources of income? Not so it doesn't mean, again, it's not hard to drive a car. It's also not difficult to navigate a grocery store. Most people just can't do it, which is why most people fail. But then the question is, why are you putting yourself in the boat with most people? Why do you not think that you could do better than them? Why do you not know that you could do better than them? Excuse me. Why are you not doing whatever it takes to make sure that you could do better than them? Because all of these things that people swear are super difficult are actually in reality not that hard. Most people just suck at things, so it makes things look like it's difficult. It's not hard to do these things if you could follow the steps. Most people can't cook, even though there are very, very simple, plainly laid out recipes and instructions for how to follow them. But most people somehow can't figure out how to take a teaspoon scooper and scoop a teaspoon of salt, or weigh out a half pound of fucking chicken, or mix shit or cook shit for 5 minutes how it is that they're supposed to. It's not because cooking is difficult. I'm not talking about becoming a gourmet chef. I'm talking about basic meal preparation. Most people don't know how to do that because they don't understand how it is to follow instructions. So why do you think you're one of those people? Because if you think that you wouldn't be successful at starting your own business or doing whatever the fuck it is that you would like to do to be able to provide for yourself, doesn't necessarily need to be a business, though I guess all things in that realm are businesses in some capacity. But I mean, it doesn't have to be like some future Fortune 500 startup company or whatever. It could be a one-man endeavor. You could be a, what's the word for it, solopreneur or some shit like that, whatever the fuck it is that you would like to call it. But why there are instructions and blueprints for how to do that too, just like there are instructions and blueprints, excuse me, for how to make chicken parmesan. Why do you feel that you can't follow those instructions and blueprints, but all of these other people who don't even have what it takes to drive their car properly can? Why are you willing to bet on them? Why have you not worked on you to the point that you are willing to bet on yourself because you believe in you? Why do you believe in strangers more than you believe in your fucking self? Is the question that you need to ask yourself. You need to sit there and take a look in the mirror and say, why is it that I believe that people who I've never met or known can do something better than I can, even though that I know the majority of people suck? And If you don't believe those things, it's because you believe that you are just like the majority of people. You believe that you are the 95% of people who will start a business and fail at it in the first year. You believe that you are one of those people who is incapable of keeping your cars in between very obvious looking white and or yellow lines because you have not taken the time to cultivate yourself into somebody who is better than the average people. Yes, some people are better than other people. I know people hate that as a concept and run around with this everyone is equal shit. Everyone has the opportunity to be equal, yes, but very few people take that and or capitalize on it, so they wind up becoming inferior because they have not worked on themselves. There is no world in which the person who sits around doing nothing all day is on the same playing field as someone who spends every waking hour trying to become the best version of themselves and do the best things possible. That's just fucking reality. That is life. That is how life works. Some cars are better than others. Some movies are better than others. Some furniture is built better than other furniture. Some games are better than other games. And some people are better than other people. Such is fucking life. So, are you going to do what it takes to become one of the better people? Or are you going to be like every single other person who just plays it safe and winds up in all kinds of debt that they are incapable of paying and bills that they can barely handle and a life that they really fucking hate, all because they would rather bet on somebody else than bet on themselves?